In the comic series Immortal Legend Batman, at the start of the 22nd century, humanity took to the stars. And to conquer those vast differences between solar systems, the human race had to harness the power of dark matter, allowing them to bend space-time around their ships. Doing this, though, forever changed the destiny of the human species, as it connected them to distant worlds, new resources, and new opportunities. But in return, unlocking that potential came at a terrible cost. Because in the universe of Immortal Legend Batman, the first time that humanity used dark matter, they permanently shattered the barrier between their universe and the universe of shadows. And shadows are mindless, soulless apparitions that crave nothing but violence and destruction. And what's explained is that in the early days of human expansion across the galaxy, they had no way of fighting the shadows. That is, until extremely powerful warriors seemingly emerged out of nowhere. And when the Immortal Legends first appeared, some thought they were aliens, and some even thought that they were gods. But the truth of the matter was, they weren't aliens or gods. They weren't even immortal. They were just three exceptionally talented people who discovered a way to access and channel the energy that binds our universe and the Shadow universe together. The first of the three embraced the ennobling, spirit-lifting bright half of the binding energy that was closest to our universe. And in turn, he named that approach the Way of the Robin. The second of the three believed that the tactics and ability of the enemy could be used against them, so he embraced the terrifying, relentless half of the binding energy that was closest to the universe of Shadow, naming that approach the Way of the Bat. The third and final immortal legend of the trio was a pragmatic sword, and she thought that it would actually be best to utilize both approaches, pulling from both ends. And she would go on to name this the Way of the Nightwing. And together they pulled humanity back from its destruction. But as time went on, it became abundantly clear that they would never be free of the shadows entirely. So the original three decided to ensure that their legacy would always continue. So they always wanted people of this universe to feel safe exploring the stars. So they let the rumor spread that they were immortal. However, in truth, they simply chose successors to train in the ways and eventually adopt their mantles, a tradition that was continued through the generations till this day. Which brings us to the current Immortal Legends. Because in this timeline 1 year ago, Stephanie Brown passed down the mantle of Immortal Legend Robin to boy genius Tim Drake. And 2 years prior to that, Harper Row passed on the mantle of Immortal Legend Nightwing to stunt pilot Dick Grayson. And 2 years before that, the narrator, who's either Alfred Pennyworth or Roger Elliott, maybe even Ra's al Ghul, chose the trillionaire Bruce Wayne.